cameras together. I forgot to turn my phone so it'll rotate. There we go, now I can see what's going on. Alright, hello viewer. So I have been working on... Oh, I'm on the wrong screen. There, I have been working on these greeting cards. These, I'm calling these springtime greeting cards. And this is part of a set of 12 today on the, which way is the screen from here? That way? Whatever. Anyway, on my Cricut screen, we are doing the box that these are going to get stored in. And this is for a charity auction in January, which is why I'm going with kind of nondescript seasonal. And I just noticed there's like all kinds of little gluey marks on this. This is what I get for making this card at like midnight. Let's use my handy dandy glue eraser and see if I can get some of those off. The O in hello just literally tore, so we're going to fix that. This is how I glue myself to things. Alright, so what I'm going to do is lift that with the tweezer. Dab it with my finger, put it back down, press into position. Oh look, it never happened. Alright. I have no idea if the camera can focus like that. Maybe I should hold it down here. It looks decent. There's still a little bit of gluing marks, but let's be honest, the people who go to this silent auction are all going to be 65 and up. Maybe they won't notice. I might remake that. We'll see. I might remake that one later if I still don't like it in a week. Anyway, so we're tossing that aside. We're tossing aside... Oh, I'm done with the spring cards because my plan is 2 spring, 2 summer, 2 fall, 2 winter, 2 pop-up. I just wrote on an envelope. Okay, so we're done with the spring cards. Let's put all of the scrap away, but not 2 away because I might need to get it back out and fix that mess. I don't think I'm going to ever use that. Maybe I will. Alright. We'll go put this into my scrap pile. Away later. So now, for a larger project, I've got these 2 cards. And here's my project box for today. We are going to make the storage container because that's going to get unwieldy if I just keep making without a place to store them. I'll cut those in the cup holder. Go. So what's going to go in here is, let's go back to my screen share only. This is what I've designed. It's based on somebody else's design. What is the error here? There is no error. But there is an error. Is this one of those phantom errors? There is a problem sometimes where if you have a large printable image, like too big to go in a printer, and you bring it into Cricut, and then you start cutting it up to use smaller segments, because you can see this used to be all one larger image that I have cut up and split. It will still not print them. It will still tell you they don't fit in the printer until you copy all of them and paste them into a completely new project, shut down Cricut's app, restart Cricut's app, make the new project, and then come back to your old project with, you know, the green part, the paper, and carry on. And I thought they had fixed this, but when I minimize this, I get errors, so they may not have. Let me see what happens when I hit make. Image is too large. There is absolutely nothing wrong with any of the images. None of them are too large. But let's find the largest of the images. That's this one. This is the biggest piece, 5 3/4 inch. Copy. Let's start a new window. Sometimes I've had this carry over even when I start a new project. It's like it knows the original image was 25 inches wide. No, new project. Let's paste. And this does not have that problem. I can click make, save, and it goes straight on over. So that's going to be our solution. I will probably actually paste all of this over to the new project and delete the old one. This obviously is going to have problems forever. Let's turn that off, paste everything, and see if I get errors. Oh, we have errors that came with, so we cannot do that. Now let's turn that back on and see if we've introduced that bug. Nope, it's still willing. Cool. So this will become our space where we actually do this. Okay, so this is based, I am doing a project. It is based on an original project. Let me go find it. Yeah, it was inspired by this project, which is a desk organizer. And yeah, you can see it was built with all the free stuff. And drop it down again from here. You can't see the little A, but there is a little A. When I looked this up, I double checked that because that means it's free to sell. The little green flag with the A in the corner up here means you can sell up to 10,000 copies of that specific item. But I have my own derivations, so this has become my own work, etc. So my idea was I rejiggered it. Instead of having, they had like a space for a notebook in the back and then pockets for a post-it note and a calculator. I am doing it, let me pull up the picture. Here it is. So instead of that, I used the, whatever. I don't even know where the font came in. But instead of these two pockets, I have a back pocket that's very narrow for envelopes, and a pocket here that is deeper for the greeting cards. And I had originally envisioned this as something you might buy for a college student. So my initial design has, and the green and yellow are just placeholder colors. I just needed to have it straight in my brain. So I have this cute little antique letter writing image that I got from one of my sources where I can get commercial license images. And then I had designed a pocket for envelope seals and one for stamps, and a little notebook that goes with it for rough drafts. And you can see I have two formats of this. This one has these text pieces, which I'll zoom into, being glued here, and a decorative center, or no, a plain center, with these two pockets for your stamps and envelope seals on the center piece when you flap it down like a little blotter. And I was thinking of gluing the Rough Drafts book to it so that it's permanently adhered and can't get away from you. It's also got this green rectangle here is meant to be a pen loop. And my idea was that it would then be a full service card kit for college students, for example, to send a note home to grandma or whoever, which is why I had all this writing on these sections. And I probably should do this as print and cut instead of writing, because that's a lot of text to sit here and wait for a pen to handwrite for me. But it gives some ideas of what to write. I am unclear on why the font is blurry. This is not, there it goes, it hadn't finished rendering. So it gives some indication, some ideas of what to write and what you could do with your greeting card, and then it explains how to use the envelope and where to put everything, because a lot of younger generation people have not ever mailed a letter. They haven't ever needed to. This is not something we do in business anymore. Check myself. Yep, okay. Sorry, I don't know how long this battery is going to last, so this is kind of an experiment. No, I wanted that. Stream Deck is also kind of an experiment. But so this explains all of that so that they've got the info. And that's also why there was a pocket for stamps, because that way whoever gives this to a college student can be sure they've got stamps that are appropriate for these cards. This format had the stamp pockets and stamp and envelope seal pockets on the sides, so they were a little narrower. Where are we on there? Okay. So it had me putting those on the sides of the blotter, which I'm not sure would work, because then when you close it up, your pockets are upside down. So that might not actually work that well. Unless I turn them around. I could turn these around so that the pockets are right side up when it's closed and the word stamp is right side up when it's open, and you just kind of reach, how do I reach in from here to grab your stamps out, which might actually be easier than trying to look over the top and reach in from this direction. But anyway, it gave me a different format for writing my info. And it also meant that my rough draft booklet was going to be an individual piece that would go in along with the cards. And I really was not sure which of these interiors was going to work better, but for this charity gift box that I'm making, neither of these is going to be the thing. So we're just going to turn the center tool arrangement off. We're going to turn off the center instruction arrangement and turn off the card base cut, because I think that's for my greeting cards. And we are making this today. So I think step one is, I might as well, yeah, we're going to highlight all of these printed pieces, copy, move them over to my Untitled project. I'm not seeing any pasting going on. Let's try again. Okay, now it's doing something. There we go. And then we're going to just turn them off. And then we come to the box lid, and we're going to have to do the same thing because that bug is really buggy. These are my slice results. What I did here was I originally had blank, like just yellow pieces, and I used those yellow pieces, set them up on top of my commercial licensed image, And then I used the slice tool down here to make, basically, you turn this piece into a hole punch and it punches through. There are more words you can use to explain how the slice tool works, but I have always described it as a hole punch, because it will literally cut the same shape out of whatever's behind it, basically, or in front of it. Oh, there is text. I don't need there to be text. How do I get rid of that? Maybe it's in this group. Yes, it is. There we go. So, oh, these yellow panels should probably technically be print from that printing design. Or I could use something else. You know what, we're going to say make, we're just going to make the green section. We're not going to save. I'm not going to want all that turned off later. So yeah, you can see my card slot is measured at 1.25, that's inches deep, and the envelope slot is 0.75 inches deep for a total of 2. This is a 2-inch deep box. Everything is set up to score, and our next step is picking colors. This is always the killer. That's got to be on a 12-inch paper, hasn't it? Let's just have the app tell me what I need. Why are you asking me that question? What do you mean 12 by 24 mat? Okay, why? But my material size is only 12 by 12. Fine, 12 by 19. Why are we 12 by 24? Because it's exactly a 12-inch sheet of paper. It wants to score it all the way from one end to the other, and you cannot score even in this 1/4-inch margin up here. Okay, let's cancel. I thought that was going to be an easy way to find information. Right now it is not. Tell me about that. What size? This is 12.06. Well, no, it isn't. 10.06. Fair enough, 0.056. I am not going to rejigger that because this is how the last person figured out to do this. What we are going to do is put this on a 12 by 24 mat, because I have learned the hard way, if you need it to go just a smidge off and you tell it it's a 12 by 24 mat, it will just suck in the whole mat and spit it out the back of the machine. All right, so a 24 blue mat. Here we go. And we need 12-inch pages. And it looks like we're going to need 2 or 3 of them. Probably 3. I think these are going to be bigger than that. All right. So now we roll on over. And a pad of paper in the wrong place. Okay, so this is an option because these are just pastel solids. They're double-sided. This is how I buy when I need, you know, a lot of different colors, but I don't need a lot of them. I think I needed 2 of this and 1 of this for my niece's birthday. And these are not colors I have a lot of call for, but, you know, when you need them, you need them. Also, it was cheap. It was on a killer sale. I'm not seeing any of those for this purpose. Let's switch myself on over to big drawers. I haven't. Garish oranges, reds, yellows, mostly. Nice blue. Some browns. have black. Black could be dark. Okay, change of plans. We are going to do the print up first and see what they look like on these different colors. So let's load the printer button. Realize we're low on ink. Hope this doesn't come back to haunt me. So yeah, we're gonna change plan. We're gonna send this first. Three print thin cuts. This is what's annoying to me about print thin cut is I have scraps this big, but my printer will choke on them. So I'm gonna have more scraps this big. But I will actually be able to cut an entire greeting card out of this after it prints. Those reasons. Although let me take a look real quick. Is there space to slide that into the side? Rearrange some things. That's not big enough for this. That's not big enough. There's no rearranging I can do. Sometimes I can grab something and flip it sideways and put it in the margin. But these shapes are not going to let me do that. The best I could do is slide these up, and nope. That doesn't get me what I need. Because this is too wide for that. So all it does is go back. I might as well slide it to one side because that's a little design I can get out of something later. Alright, that's the best I can do. We're going to do it. We are going on hope that we have enough stuff. I think. White or light colored material is recommended. It didn't used to say that. That is a new update for Cricut. I'm a little surprised they feel the need to say it. Don't add bleed. I don't have that much ink to waste. Oh, do add bleed because I don't have that much ink to waste. I want it to have a nice margin it can cut into. My phone end up on that. Okay. There we go. All right, so it's processing it. Basically is turning it into a PDF and sending it. Verify print. Well, you're gonna have to like print it first. I'm a little bothered. My printer's not even making noise or doing the flashy thing. Did I send it to the wrong printer? Didn't turn on my maker either. Oh, there we go. Printer is finally doing the thing. We are having some slowness with all the stuff I'm running for a stream. While that's printing, I'm going to clear out some notifications on my phone. So we're not using the pastel sheet right now. We're also not needing to run my big mat, so we're going to use this little one. It is green instead of blue. Blue's a little better for paper, but this one is kind of getting towards end of life. Man, that's pretty bad looking. At some point I am going to have to suck it up and replace the cartridge. Please not right now. You have to finish printing. I have a couple of cartridges lined up. At least one. But it's an off-brand, and I recently had an off-brand that they forgot to fill the magenta. It only came with blue and cyan and yellow. And then the next one I opened had something different wrong with it. And it was like crisis point. I had a big event coming up. I had to be able to print. I bought a Canon brand. It worked fine. Before that, I had gone through many off-brand cartridges, and it was just fine. But now I'm like, oh, okay. But I think this problem is the computer's doing so much that it's having to take its sweet time on the printing. All right, here is sheet 1 of 3. I like the look. It has the old-timey letter look that I wanted. So we're going to place it. That first pat was being sure it felt dry. The second pat was pushing it down so that it wouldn't skitter. I don't want to drag the brayer across these things until they feel dry. Which, this being a matte paper, has never given me any trouble. But, sometimes my glosses aren't as dry as I like them. Okay, well... Yes, that maker. The only one I've got. Alright. I'm gonna go with light cardstock. I've heard from so many people. That's new. This little card here. Okay, new tool required in clamp A. That's a pen clamp. Fine point blade in clamp B, which I have. Yeah, we'll go to all 3 camps. Insert mat under guides until it touches rollers. That is a new statement. That used to be only in the how to use your machine book. And press. Okay. I have been told that doing medium cardstock is better. You get a better cut, and that has been my experience. But for some reason, doing the medium cardstock setting on this green mat has it cutting through the mat. And now it's going to protect. And the frustrating thing is you saw how long it takes to print, but I can't tell it to start printing page 2 until it's finished cutting. And sometimes I forget to tell it, so then I'm like fighting to get everything off page 1 and then like, oh yeah, I could have been printing. Alright, let's go finish clearing my updates. There is just nothing that important on the internet today. At some point I'm going to have to place a new order at the 12x12 cardstock shop too. Because I'm going to need more. I got this new brand of paper. It's Encore brand. I usually buy Michael's brand, the Reflections or whatever it's called, Recollections. I think that's right. The Encore definitely handled my intricate cuts better. You can go see that on my Diwali lantern luminary stream. But it's not prohibitively expensive. It's about the same price as Michael's paper without a sale. But I never buy Michael's paper without a sale. So it's definitely more money, but I'm probably going to at least switch to it for colors that I usually use for intricate cuts. Alright, so that's done. I have thought this all the way through. I can send page 2 to the printer. It wants me to choose my printer again. Not sure if I want to use the same printer. I guess that could actually happen. Okay, I'll let that go. Now, flip over, peel back. Oh, that didn't feel right. Yeah, I damaged the paper a little bit as I was peeling it off. Oh, I'm sorry, kitty. It's okay. It's just a printer. Here. Have your cactus ball. He has this, yeah, you're a little weirded out. He has this adorable light up cactus toy that we got. There is a cactus. There it is. That we got from the pet store. And it was on my trash can. My recycling bin. Alright. So here we go. First things in the project box. I need to keep them all right side up because I will not know right side up from upside down later, and if I get one wrong, it's going to be obvious. If I get them all wrong, nobody will notice. Little baby cat. You enjoying your food? We got him a travel box the other day for his food. It's a Bentgo. Why Bentgo? Because that's what we use, and that way it'll all stack up together in the same cooler bag. The problem is that when he was a super tiny baby, because this is a bottle-fed orphan, Liam, I had him eating out of a sauce container, which is also made by Bentgo. And now he will only eat his dry food out of either his regular feeder in the bedroom, or he will eat out of the sauce container. He will not just eat out of just anything I put food in. So right now his Bentgo box has a Bentgo sauce container with some food in it, and it's got some food in the next compartment over. And he's like only eating silicone sauce container. He keeps sniffing the other side and being like, there's no silicone container, so it's not food. Kittens are so weird. Hi, baby. Yeah, I did put your blanket under the desk for you. Okay. This, by the way, this is a new update for Cricut. They have an arrow pointing up, which really helps. Usually I can tell which way is up, but I have had situations where I'm doing stickers and they're turned all different ways. And I did accidentally put one the wrong way around for my niece's birthday decorations, and we ended up with a bunch of stickers cut backwards. Like, the cut was here, but the sticker it was trying to cut was over here, so they just got destroyed. It was pretty funny. Alright, light cardstock. That's still the right setting. Let's get this going. But yeah, my niece learned by watching me do that mistakes are not really that big a deal. They're to be expected. Which is good, because about 10 minutes after that, she loaded a page upside down, glossy side down. It did not go well. But we laughed at ourselves, threw it aside, and tried again. She was very frustrated with her mistake, but because she had seen me screw up another piece of material, she knew. I told her this is why I buy affordable materials, and I always make sure I have a little extra, because you just never know. You might accidentally do something really dumb. And all of this is good because she, I think, is saving up to buy a Cricut, the Joy Extra. It's the smallest unit they have that does print then cut. And she is hoping to do some kind of business, probably making and selling t-shirts, because she's really good at those, to put herself through college. Although she's also planning to apply for her city's high school that gives you college credit for your last 2 years of high school, to help cut costs as well, and I'm really excited about that. I hope she does it, and I hope she does well, but let me tell you, if she does it, Auntie is going to be hiring a tutor for her if she needs, to make sure she does well. Because that'll be cheaper than paying for a year of college. Alright, still keeping everything right side up, even when the text looks upside down. And there I go, I forgot to send a printer. This one will print quickly. There we go. And that Advil I took is not working. I don't know what I did wrong back. I slept, that's what I did. Yeah, I know, verify print quality, blah, blah, blah. Give me my print. Printer's just sitting there like it's never seen a print before in its life. There we go. I think what we're going to do is just run this Canon ink cartridge into the ground. It's been open for 9-10 months. I'm surprised it's still working. And then we'll try the off-brand one and hope for the best. Because the worst that happens is I have to run down into the city and get one at the office supply shop. And if I have to go all the way down into the city to get one at the office supply shop, I'd just like to point out there's a taco shop in the same center. So, you know, there are worse things than having to go down there and losing an hour of my time, an hour and a half. Like having to go down there and not being able to get a taco. Alright, load, do, go. And while that's doing that, I'm going to choose this print, which I can tell which way is right side up because there's a picture on it, and we're going to start looking at colors. I have got a surplus of this shade of blue. I don't have. Okay, I don't have one that's easy to pull because the rest of the large is in a package. Sorry, Graham. I've got a surplus of that, and I've got a bunch of black that I really don't like. I don't like this brand, but it would do well for that one. Let's see, what else do I have? Part of the problem is I don't know what I have right now because one of my friends has gotten to where she can't see anymore. I think I said this pretty much to you also, but she dumped all of her old supplies on me, and it's wonderful. It was a wonderful gift and investment in my business that I really appreciate. But she had so much random stuff that I'm where I don't know what I've got stuff. It's stuff and it's like coming out my ears up here. Those are probably my two best colors. If they don't work, I'm gonna have to look into more expensive colors. And this is for a charity thing, so part of me wants it to be right and part of me wants it to be cheap. There we go. Carefully lay that in place so I don't get messed up. I could see blue working. Look at how that's got some blue in the card. See black? Why is this black slightly textured? This is not the brand I thought it was. This might be from my original Cricut kit that I got. Because that has a slight linen texture. The frustrating thing is I really can't go in the other room and ask the only other person in my house what they think, because that person is colorblind. I mean, not very colorblind, but enough that these blues probably aren't going to look like these blues. And to me, they look similar. And I'm pretty sure that's the person who is my viewer. So asking my viewers, hey viewer, if you're not the guy in the next office, what do you think of the color choices? Yeah, you're totally the guy in the next office. Alright, so I'm going to make it on my own here. See, black looks really sharp, and it really makes those images pop. As much as I wanted a color to be right, I think the black is the right look. Just for giggles, because I had thought that this would be a gift that you might send an 18-year-old girl woman off to college with. Just for giggles, let's see what it looks like on some pastel colors that somebody might pick. Well, that's terrible. I could see somebody wanting it in teal. Yellow isn't bad. Peach isn't bad. Pink isn't great, but it's not the worst I've ever seen. Grayish purple's not terrible. Purple pretty much is. So these two, the more popular colors, are not great. Maybe I could find a different image file to offer. Do two forms of it. Do this in black and do a different image on a pastel tone and list that. Yeah, I think black is the right choice for this. Alright, let's go see if I can find some non-linen black. Let's go see how many things I can dash in them. That was the sound of me hitting a painting that I made probably now. And I want to redo it because the design is perfect. The painting, because I added. Alright. Not this black. Oh, you know what? I wonder if this black came from my Miss Molly. In which case, that is a really nice brand. We're not using a. Oh, that's also a thinner paper. Yeah, I think. Nice. 5 pound. This is 65 pound. There's me hitting. I'm going to break the frame of this painting. Okay, let's move it somewhere else. I want to redo it on a smaller canvas, and then I'm going to give that one away. Somebody might like that in their laundry room. So we are going to do this. We think we need 3 pieces of paper, so we're just going to get out 3 for now to get us started. I'm going to balance the rest on top of my printer since we're done printing. All right. Done. So that was this. You know what? Let me save this. Letter cutouts for Cardbox, commercial license, save. All right. I'm going to say make. Over here on the full service card kit. On a mat. 12 by 24, yes. We are not doing piece 1. It won't let me say it's 12 by 12 paper because it needs 12 by 12.06. So we're going to tell it 12 by 19. And we're going to send this to the next page. We're actually going to send it to a different new green. There we go. So that's fine. How is page 3 looking? Oh, this is 12 by 9. Oh, but I can't get. Maybe I can get that up. Turn this. Ugh, nope, they don't fit side by side. Alright, we're just gonna generate some black scrap then. Lord knows I can use them. My cousin's kid wants penguin or panda bear Valentine this school year. So that black scrap will get used. That's 12 by 9. That's fine. Oh. 12 by 9. You know what? Can I load a piece of letter size in instead? No, that takes even more paper. Okay. Let's go back to, let's tell it's 12 by 12 though. So that's what I'm working for that. And let's tell this is, I can properly visualize everything. All right, and we're going to highlight number 2. We do not want to cut out number 1 because I don't know that yet. All right, put that back. So we are starting with mat number 2, which is the large one, which I avoid using this one unless I really have to, because this is not a cheap mat. All right, there's this. We're going to position this 1/4 of an inch down. That's. I need a ruler for this. Where's my? Oh, all my rulers are going to crash if I don't grab them all. Okay, there we go. So we're doing 1/4 inch down. That is more than 1/4 inch, but not by much. We're not even to a 5/16. And it measures about the same all the way across, and we're going to make sure of that by ensuring it's lined up here. It is not. So, flip it over, peel it off. Set the page aside, let's try that again. Alright. I've got this handy dandy cut where I accidentally cut into my mat 1/4 of an inch down. Probably when I first got this mat. We're not doing any cuts on this, I don't think, so no cuts, just scoring on this page. So that will do it. I don't really feel the need to bray this one because this is pretty lightly used mat. I'm pretty protective of it. We're gonna tell it it's medium cardstock because all it is using is the scoring wheel. And I want it to score nice and heavy for me. Actually, I'm going to tell it it's heavy stock. I want it to push hard. I want to not have to work that hard on the fold. Heavy cardstock, 100 pound. Now it wants the double scoring wheel. Maybe I don't want it that heavy. Medium cardstock. More pressure. I don't want to deal with a double score. All right. Well, it's a single score. Take the blade out. We're going to balance it there because I do use it pretty heavily. Not really worth putting away. This, by the way, needs to be one of my projects, fixing this mat up. But, nope, don't hit that button. Don't hit that button yet. Here we go. Here we go. Now it's detecting. And it says 100% on the computer. That's because it has sent all the information over. Alright. Set up for next step. Oh, are we cutting? You know what? It thinks the paper is there. Let me check the paper. It is scored. It's scored all the way to the top, all the way to the bottom. Here's hoping. this is where we're just going to try it. Because I've positioned the paper differently than reality, I just don't 100% know what it's about to do. Yes, I do. I'm taking that out because I think it's about to cut the paper edge. Officially, you should never reach into this machine and do what I did while it was running. Unofficially, I'm saving a sheet of paper. I don't know why it would be cutting there. Yes, I do. But here's the thing. Take a look. I hesitate to let it cut there. I can do it with a paper cutter. I can mark 10 inches. I think. It's officially 10.056. I don't think that little. It is going to be a big deal. Yeah, I'm going to let it go. I'm going to cut that by hand. I am not going to let it screw up all the other 3 sides of this just because I don't want to hand cut one side. Okay, I am done with the large mat. And there's where I made the mistake, is I was just looking at, when I looked at the screen and saw that it was just scoring. What I didn't look at is over on the left side of the screen where it says score and then basic cut. Alright, so we're switching mats. Back to the ancient green one. New sheet of paper. Load it in there. This, I can let it do everything because it's going to do it exactly right. And technically, I could use the scoring stylus, and that goes in clamp A, so that I don't have to keep changing stuff. But I just want this to work. I want it to be easy. Okay, so this needed to get cut pretty much there, where these score lines end. Possibly on both sides. We're going to confer with the design before we do anything there. We're just going to toss it aside. Wait, are my cameras off? No, they're on. I don't know why the live looks like that to me. Let me walk to the next room. I'll change the online. Can't tell if my phone is freaking out and giving me the wrong live feed or if something's wrong with OBS. Alright, it is just my phone freaking out. Although I thought I had my Cricut turned on the screen, and I've been just doing desk and computer, which is fine because reasons. So here we go, parts 2 coming off. some scrap that will become panda bears for my cousin's kids' Valentine's. That's probably the card pocket. This looks like the envelope pocket. This is, yep, that's the third sheet. It's got a crinkled edge. We're going to put that somewhere that I'm not cutting. And we're probably going to have to go back and cut some other pieces also at some point, because some of what belongs on the inside flaps is not glued up. Because I wasn't sure about color choices and prints yet. There we go. Oh, this is screwing the box lid. Alright. Blade. There we go. On. There we go. And this is probably where I realized I didn't want it medium more pressure for this part for cutting. But here we are. Come on. And despite knowing my Cricut cam is turned off, I left it off because I'm just sitting in my chair and I knew my face was going to show if I did that, and that's not on my to-do list right now. I've got this like 1-inch strip. I'm keeping it because Valentines are small and I might be able to get some pandas over there. Although last year I did her Valentine's pretty darn full-sized. So, I don't know. Alright, so what we do now is we're going to go say cancel because I don't know what I want in that yet. Cancel again. So here's my pieces. Let's turn my stuff back on. There's no real directions for what I do next for assembly. Let's see if there's any assembly directions in the original. That's a lot of script, but there's no information. Okay, so no information. I'm just going to look at the picture then. This is what it's supposed to look like. These are the design shapes I've got to work with. How do I make this look like that without knowing what I'm doing, without any instructions? I know off the bat I did not make any colored pieces to go on my pockets yet, so we're going to set my pockets aside. It's going to be easiest probably to work with this first. Okay, to get it in that shape, let's start by folding. I'm gonna have to make some scissor cuts. That's just all there is to it. So let's start by getting some folds in here. If I wanted it not to be scissor cuts, I think I would have to edit the pattern again and probably cut something out. These would probably be tabs instead of fully, because if I want it to fold, I want a nice seam. Scissor. Yeah, I want this to go under. So I want it to go down and under the flap. So I want to turn these edges into cuts. And then that will go under like that. And my life will be easier if this is shorter here and angled here and here. So I want to turn that into a trapezoid. Okay, let's do the same over on this side. I'm holding it by the flap I don't want to cut so that I don't mess that up, because that is totally something I would do. Yeah. So my next step is to grab my phone and take a picture of this so that I know what edits I want to make to this file. This is my first time using this file. I mean, I made a large version of it for myself for holding my coloring books, keep them organized, keep the children from seeing my sweary coloring book, you know. But this is my first time making it at the proper size, as more or less as designed. So I'm learning some things about how this person designed this pattern. Once again, turning that under, holding it in my hand to keep it out of the way, keeps me from making errors with the scissors. There we go. So now we are ready to build the box. I keep turning around for my recycle bin because that's used to be where it was. All right, let's throw my other papers that I don't need up on the Cricut for now. Great flat surface. Of my project box, that is definitely for the front and the back. These are right side up, so they go there. They go there. No, that one feels wrong. I've got, oh hell, I've got two different sizes. What do I have going on here? Okay, now we're going to scrutinize the image. I've got pieces I'm not sure. This is what's happened. I've lost track of what goes where and what's right side up. So we're going to zoom in on the computer. And we're going to verify. Okay, these pieces go here. This is right side up. This is right side up. Those don't look like my first piece. That looks like my first piece. It looks like my second piece. It also looks like it has a watermark on it. And my third piece has a face on it. So these are unrelated. And these are meant to go like this. And I guess I'll do that. So what I'll probably do is bump this up. These were cut out with the image like this, and I probably should have done this. Laid them out like that and then did my cutout. But this just doesn't look like it's that related to that. Like, I'm not sure it's going to break my continuity that badly if I put it here. But it might. I feel like my continuity is best supported by making sure the front looks like this. So let's make the back look like that, so that it looks kind of like that shape. Yeah. All right. So I need to rethink. Where's my to-do list? That's the pen that's dead. There we go. Rethink my lid. Print, then cut pages. Hopefully I'll remember what that was about. If not, I'll watch my own feed. All right, so we're going to start with step 1. This is the bottom. Flip it sideways. Let's see this come together. If that noise is picking up on my mic, sorry, it is metal scraping on paper. I really don't know how to make it not, other than not touch it to the paper, which causes the glue to come out in a way that doesn't work for me. Okay, so now I am putting this that is just barely any level of edge, side to top to bottom. Put a big edge side to side, and we're just going to go with it. Next up, I'm doing this sideways. I always cap my glue even when I'm still working because I might suddenly stop working. I have cats, and cats have ridiculous cat emergencies, and sometimes I have to get up and run. I used to leave it uncapped, and then we had a cat emergency, and I ran, and 2 days later I found my glue, and it was not cool. Okay. Let's use this third one as a strip to kind of help me with placement. Okay. The top of the box is bigger than the sides of the box. I did not know that. I'm not sure I like that. Let's... maybe I do. It gives space there. Let's keep going and let's see how it works. Okay, this is upside down because that's the back of the box, and it's also different. This doesn't belong here. Can I get it off? Can I get this off? Okay, I can get this one off. I can't get that one off. It was not sized correctly. Or this is... no, it was not sized correctly. Look at that. This is narrower. What happened to my design? This was sized for there. I did not know that was a different size. I don't like the way this is working out. We're going to toss the lid and start over. But we're going to see. You know what? I'm going to just dab it together and be sure the rest of my design idea worked. Okay. Match those corners perfectly. Match those corners perfectly. And then imagine I had glued that there. That's perfect. Okay. I like it, other than the part where I completely effed up, and we're going to go back to the drawing board. All right. So what we need to do, we're going to go back to my kit this side. All right. I needed to work more on this anyway because reasons. There we go. Okay, we're going to turn that off because it worked fine. We're going to turn these off because they work fine. This is the design that we had issues with. I might be able to salvage these two pieces, I might not. We're going to turn this to desk only mode because I have to go into my uploads and I had to do some stuff recently that is not, you don't need to see that, what I had to do for a customer. Alright, now we're back on screen here. We are loading a giant image. This is going to cause this cutout to... It's the wrong image. Back to desk with you. Which one did I just load? Damn. Alright, you know what? We're going to add them both. And we're going to figure it out. That doesn't look correct. That looks correct. There's the woman. Okay. So what we need to do, though, is these pieces need to be lined up here. And that's fine. This is still okay. And they need to be all aligned at their tops. Okay. And what we're going to do with these is we're going to turn them off print then cut. We're going to turn them into basics so that they are squares. In fact, I'm going to turn them into a guide. So now they're a guide. Those don't look like they're lined up anymore. I moved everything down by one click, but something looks wrong. Center vertically. Oh, those squares are differently sized than the lid. Why are they different? Let's hold one of these up and be sure it looks like I think it should. And then, no, the piece I ripped off of here, that piece, okay. I feel like they should be wider. These should be as wide as that wide piece. Okay, how big is that? 1.875, so these should be 1.875 tall also. So we turn that off. 875. And I'm going to do the same thing here. Turn that off. 875. Now we're going to redo them. Align. Center vertically. Okay. And we're going to attach these. Then we're going to take all of this and distribute evenly vertically so that there's equal amounts of space, even if this isn't quite the right space. We're going to attach all of that so I can yank it around at once. We're going to, I guess, shrink this down. I liked the design the way it was. Let's zoom in. We don't want the top to be too connected to the middle because we're going to have to whip that top around. I think where they are, that is not too connected to the middle. Let me put this in pen and put it in a really bright color so it's easier to see. Orange. Blue? Is anything easy to see on this? Ridiculous green? Oh, I think ridiculous green is even harder. Blue might have been my best. Blue. Alright, so you can kind of see now. This picture will be there, upside down from where it is. This stuff doesn't really connect very strongly down here to this stuff. So whipping that upside down won't be a problem. You can clearly see that these are postage stamps now and stuff that makes sense. You can also clearly see I had originally used this section. So we're going to go with it. We're also going to copy and paste this background image. And just turn that sucker off for now. Okay, so we're going to turn this back into a guide. Oh, that was the wrong drop down. Back into a guide. We're going to detach it. We're going to detach again. And then what we do is this. We highlight, oh my gosh, he's eating something. That's amazing. I might need food. Okay, so we're going to keep that, but we're going to lose the slice result guide. We're just going to turn it off because I might need it again later. So now we highlight our exclamation point and another guide. Slice. Turn the guide off. Highlight that. Another one. Slice. This is what I mean by it. This works like a hole punch. Because what it has done is, well, I'll show you at the end. It's going to be easier to see at the end without messing up. Slice. Turn that off. It brings things up to the top, up to the front as you work on them. So that I can tell which one is my slice result off. And we're going to turn this off. And that's what we're left with. Those guides worked like a hole punch. We're now going to delete it. It is not giving me any errors. I don't really want to delete my slice result guides. I think what I want to do is take this and group and slide it away. Corrected. And then I want to bring all of these back visible and group. Lid cutout guide corrected. That way I've got it. And I don't have to go through that fuss ever again. Okay, so what we're going to do now is, because I'm going to need this one of these days, those should be the ones that were fine in the first place. Yeah, those go around the front of the box. What is this? Nope. Nope. This goes on the back of the box. You can see I have used some of the same images. I think that'll be fine. If I was thinking this through like as a big old project, I might have lined these up so that those are a perfect match to each other. And I have not, because at some point I'm just... So we're going to group these. These are the exterior box base layer. And we don't need to print those again. We need this. Put that there. That's confused later. Let's save. I think I do want more of this for my interior. We're going to use the same sheet. So I don't think I want this sheet on this project at all. Yes, I know review warning layers. I'm not worried about it. I really just wanted to click there. Okay, we were frozen. Yeah, I'm going to nix that. We're just going to use one sheet. Okay, let's go and get from here. This, copy, paste, didn't paste, there we go. And this, copy and paste, click and paste. Okay, these I really do want to bother with a fussier cut. So we're going to center horizontally, align tops, turn them both into a guide. All right, let's keeping them together. We're going to position them somewhere. Let's zoom in. My reason for doing this all together instead of punting the flap task is that I might be able to do this all as one print and just get it done. I'm going to group them for now. I'm going to move them together easier. We're going to use that part of the box that didn't get used before. Okay, so now we're going to ungroup. And I think, yeah, we're going to turn off the smaller one and just use the larger one, do my slice. Then I'm going to get rid of this. I don't need it. This, I'm going to copy and paste. This is now my larger one. And now we're going to come back to my slice guide. These are still exactly lined up correctly. We're turning off that slice guide and turning on the smaller one. Let's bring the smaller one to the front so it's seen. Okay, what I want to do is align the bottoms and slice. And that should cut off this top section here. And we are just turning things off for now because I want to see this work. So what we have now is these two pocket liners, and they line up. Center, oh, wrong center, align bottom. It's an exact match. And the reason for that is that when they're in there, that's going to make a picture that makes more sense. How deep is this pocket? 3.5 inch. Okay, whatever. So now that I've verified that worked okay, I'm going to delete the slice things that are done. Shorter pocket cutout. Zoom back. Migrate these up that way. Yes, this is what I need to print and cut now. And for reasons I don't understand, it's willing to do them. Okay, is there anything I can get onto it? Nope, there's no way to save paper with this. We're just going to go with it. All right, what are we at? See, I keep looking over and sometimes I see a blank where my stream should be, and like it's showing I've only been streaming for 12 seconds, and that's ridiculous. I don't even know. We're not sending it to the laser printer. There we go. I don't think I can salvage any of these pieces, so we're going to set them aside in the main project box. I do believe these are all still fine. Printer is still loaded with the correct paper. Forgot to cap my glue. Ugh. And this is just here as a little model now. But I like how that came out inside. I like those changes. Those worked. We're gonna have to make another one of that. Maybe, maybe not. I'll see when I get the piece. This is part of the design. This is part of the cost of my products too. Just pointing that. Doing this level of trial and error, I blew through what, 2 pages, a page's worth of ink. That was an extra $1.12 of materials, not to mention probably about 30 minutes of time. So that's kind of like a thing. All right, let's go back to all cameras because we're about to Cricut. Where you see I've got this piece just laying here. See, that camera's lights should go blue and they're not. I wonder if it's coming on correctly. Well, if you can see my Cricut, it worked. If you can't, then something's wrong with that camera. Which would not shock me because it's an open box deal. We've got the piece for the box that I didn't cut fully set aside so that I can figure out what needs to be cut there by hand. Eventually I'll get this dialed in. Today is not that day. Alright, there we go. My print and cuts. Page 1. Let's spray that down. This mat is really starting to show its age. Pretty sure this is one of my originals when I got the machine. Alright. Oh. This step didn't used to happen. That is. We're going to tell it medium cardstock. More pressure because I liked the way it scored and it did not actually cut through the mat. Wait, this is a print and cut. We're not scoring. What the heck, brain? I don't need heavy pressure then. Alright, default pressure. Medium stock still gives me a better line. That's seated. Alright, off we go. It will now proceed to detect and cut, and it will not let me print until we've done that. I think this will complete our print and cuts for this project, though. Oh, hey, viewer. If you're just joining, if you're not one of the people who's been bopping in and out, I am making a greeting card box. I can't pull it up on the screen because it's doing stuff. But I'm making a box into which 12 greeting cards will go, and this is for a charity silent auction. So I may not be putting quite as much attention to detail as I would if I were selling it, but also it's advertising for me, so I'm kind of watching it. I've only glued myself to my desk twice, and I should really have a counter for that. Sigrun, when he was streaming video games, had a counter for how many times he died. I think we got it up into triple digits within about 3-4 weeks. But it makes me realize I should probably have one. Oh, that's in seconds. Okay. Shows me. Alright. Page 1 is done. Recycle. Alright, so these are my new... These are for my... Oh, these are for the pockets. Okay, those go in the project box. Pocket. These go on the box. So I'm just going to set them aside for now. Oh, I forgot to hit print. Of course. There we go. And then we're going to send box lid to the Cricut. So we lost maybe a half hour to that error. And I only bill at $10 an hour, which is ridiculously cheap for my time. Keep in mind, people at McDonald's make more. But people at McDonald's have to deal with customers and fried food. And I'm sitting at my desk in an air-conditioned room. But these prototyping errors are worked into the project cost, because this is a cost of doing business. I have to actually charge enough money to pay for my expenses. And I think the prototyping costs are distributed. I think I'm currently doing it across 30 products. So the first 30 people are paying a few extra cents for prototyping, and the rest of the people are paying a few extra cents for the fact that I already did all the prototyping and I know what I'm doing. Because I think it ends up billing out at like 4 cents per project for R&D. It might be closer to 10 cents. I'd have to get out my sheet, and I'm not going to do that on stream. Alright, it has finished detecting where in space the page is located. That's what those L-shaped register marks are for. And now it's cutting. Which seems like pure magic to me, but it's quite simply the computer knows where these are in relation to the edge of the pages, because it sent it to the printer. The printer is doing its job and printing exactly what it was given, and then the Cricut detects where the edge of, well, not the page, but the edge of the printing field is, and cuts accordingly. Which is how, here we go, we get this situation there, where it has left that edge, that extra bleed, just in case my calibration is off, so that I don't have to deal with I don't get white edges showing. Alright, and now I'm going to cut this, because that is a lot of paper to throw away, especially when I have to make Valentine's for my cousin's kid in not that many weeks. By the way, it should alarm people that February is not that many weeks away. So what I should have here is top of box, middle of box, bottom of box. But I don't think I do, because I thought that was going to be the bottom. You know what? It might have printed out of order. It might have arranged them in a way that it thought made the most sense in terms of spacing. Okay, this is the middle of the box. This looks like the bottom, because those line up. This looks like the top, which I'm whipping around upside down, but That's why we line this up such that those don't really have a ton of continuity. That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. Okay, let's say done. Go here. Okay, this goes here. I must have that must be where the continuity is. And this goes here. And I just realized I cut them sideways because they need to be like that, but they aren't going to be the right width. So what we're going to do is change my lid cutout guide. Lag. Still lagging. Okay, much less laggy. Yes. We're going to ungroup it. We're going to rotate these each 90 degrees. And now we're going to highlight them all three. We're going to center horizontal, undo, highlight all three, center vertically, yes. Now we're going to group this back together. Lid template corrected. Okay, so what we can do here is just accept that it's going to be sideways. And I think that's what we're going to do. So these are going to be sideways on the box instead of right side up. Or I can reprint them. I can recut and reprint right side up, but I'm just not sure it's worth that. That would be another half an hour of work. We're going to make a box lid and we're going to glue these pieces on and leave these off and see what it looks like. That's what we're going to do. Save that. Switch windows. We're going to turn off the box bottom. Here's the lid. We're going to turn off and thin cuts in the lid. We're probably going to delete those because they're not ever going to work correctly. We're going to grab these, the envelope slots, and turn them off. And click Make. Grab a mat. Grab a sheet of black. I have not made my corrections yet on here where I want it to cut instead. And do I feel like doing that? What time? 12. I have to be out of here at like 4. We're not going to bother. We're going to do it by hand today. The paper is not perfectly set. I don't care because this is a smaller, much smaller piece than the original. The large box, the base of it was kind of unwieldy. There's got to be a better way to do that. All right, it is trying desperately. There it goes. It connected to the maker. Medium. Heavy pressure. Single-wheeled score. I'm going to load it first instead of loading the scoring first because that way I don't have to hold that. And because I know it stops here. Makes my life easy. I don't need a pen. Here we go. So we're going to set these two pieces aside. And I'm going to glue it all in one go. checks my work, make sure it's the cutting blade. This has saved my bacon a few times. There we go. All right. All right. Nice piece of leftover for doing my cousin's kids stuff. Peel this off. In my mat. All right, now we are done with the computer for the moment. Okay, I don't want to get these out of order and have to think them through again because that's just more tax in my brain. This is scored so hard that you can see the fold lines through the back. You know what? I feel like it's scored better this way. Usually I fold these down, but we're going this up this time because that looked good. Now let's be sure I like the look of this because this does have a little residue on it from the mat, and I don't think I do. So we're going to reverse those folds after all. I want this to be the inside of the box. Okay, scissors. We already learned the best thing to do here. Cut a straight line. Turn this into a little trapezoid. Another straight line. This will be much easier once I program my Cricut to do this, but I'm a little pressed for time, so some things are just faster than programming and testing again. I can program and test again when I don't need to be out of here by 4, 5, 4, whatever time I have to be out of here by. God, I hope I set an alarm. Because I have this important piece next to it on the way I'm cutting, I'm always making sure I can either see or feel it separate from what I'm actually trying to cut. Oh, I might need that notification. Let's take a look at that one. Oh, yeah. Just my sister responding to the snarky response I sent her yesterday, like 5 seconds after she sent me a thing. Maybe 5 seconds. It might have actually been a couple of hours. But anyway, now we're going to lay this out again and verify. That looks like the margin I expected. About 1/8 of an inch on all sides. Very similar margin. Yes. Okay. So what we're going to do now, I really like to glue close to me so I can look down at it better. But I really want, I'm going to use this as a straight edge. I'm going to flip it upside down. So it'll be this the cork really helps it not slide around on my project, but I need it to be able, I need to butt this stuff up. Oh, that's not even going to work. Okay, we just going to use a piece of scrap paper. Where's my scrap paper? There. We're going to use one of the pieces that didn't work out. Okay. that goes there, that goes there. We're going to start with this piece. We're going to slide everything off. I'm going to put these up here in order. I'm going to verify that looks correct. So this goes like that. I always flip sideways when I'm dealing with things that need to go down a certain way, because that way if I always do it the same way, I know what I'm doing. Okay, now I set that as, I'm going to let it hang off my desk slightly so it'll be easy to grab. This is going to go here. I only want this on my project right now, the thing I'm gluing down. Make sure it's centered because I only have about 2 seconds to fix things with this glue product. Wipe up the excess. This shouldn't have been that close to the edges, but it was. Alright, so now I've got this is going to butt up against it. All I have to do is slide these against to make sure they're in a nice row. We're going to do the bottom one next. Sideways. I think I hear over in the next room the afternoon chat with one of the cool guys at the office. I like that one. The problem with IT is that you're always looking for the next promotion by finding yourself a new job, because that's the way IT works. So I'll miss this guy once he looks for his next promotion. This guy's pretty cool. Alright, that's on. Now I'm going to flip the whole thing so that this is also right side up to me so that it can't mess with my head. Sideways flip. Add some glue. I try to always remember to pull the glue because it makes less of a terrible noise and there's less mess. I don't always remember to do that. But I try. Okay, we're gonna line that up with those two. Flip this over, kind of position it up against the page as dead between the fold and the bottom as I possibly can. Verify it's right side up. Push. Alright. Now we're going to make the lid into a lid. Flop that down. This, I want the glue to be as close to the edge as possible because that's what will keep the, these edges don't matter. This edge, that's what makes sure that my box corner glues like this and not like this. And that's going to be something I care about. So we've got everything lining up. Right about now is where I wish I had a paper clip. We're just going to hold it. And now we're going to repeat on the other side. Same shtick. The part where there's going to be a seam in my finished project, I want to be as close to the edge as possible. Sometimes I smear glue randomly elsewhere on the gluing tab, just to be sure my glue is gluing. You know, the flow is good. I fold that in and press. And right about now is where I hope my webcam does a good job of zooming in, because otherwise that looked like a nightmare on your end. Okay. Yeah, that's the cool guy, Colin. They do this afternoon chat. It used to be the cool guy explaining things to him, to Sagorn, that he needed to know about his job, and it has since, you know, switched as Sagorn got caught up. But early on, the afternoon call was when he got all the, you know, that information you need that nobody will tell you because you're supposed to just magically know. And I'd like to say that it's poor training, but let's be real, this is how IT works. All right. Honestly, it's probably how any job works, because I seem to remember doing like McDonald's work, and they just expected you to know stuff. I never did figure out where they kept the dipping cups of honey, which were occasionally requested back then for nuggets, because we didn't have like honey mustard sauce. And I never figured out where they were, because anytime I asked where they were, somebody just said, oh, let me go get it. And then they'd be gone for 5 minutes and come back with it. And I have no idea where they were going to this day. So yeah, worked there 3 months, never figured it out. All right, so now we have a box. This is not perfect. This flap is just a little longer. It's like 1/2 millimeter, but I can see it. We're going to contemplate here cutting it to match. We're going to cut it to match. All right, close enough at that point. So I need to figure out how to take that much paper off of my pattern. That's going to be a brutal design edit. I'll worry about that another day. Okay, so now we have this. We're looking at, does that look wrong? Pasted sideways. I don't think it does, even though it was cut to be different. It was cut to be like this. Mistake. But I think it actually looks kind of good like that. So we're going to accept that one. Okay. Flip it sideways. Flip it back sideways. It is now right side up. This is right side up. No. This is why I stopped and looked at it. This is correct. So this is the way it goes on the box. I like that look. Rub off the excess glue that shouldn't have been there, but here we are. Okay, so that means this one is also a side. See, that's not a bad look. Because it's postage stamps and old-timey letters, I don't think it's a bad look. If I had done a scenery look, I think that wouldn't work. I have got way too much glue near this corner, so we're just gonna, yeah, there, now it's not. I'm gonna do that on all the corners. Maybe I'll stop having corner extrusions. Rub the glue off my finger before I do this. So this is now sideways. I think that works. It's actually not perfect, but you can't tell. I can tell because I'm scrutinizing, but other than that, it looks pretty decent. All right, this is one of those that got ruined. Nope, paper falling down. We're just going to take all this stuff that got ruined and set it aside because I'm not sure how much of it is actually trash and how much of it I can work with. So we have got our box lid for our little card kit. Notice I've been working on this for 2 hours. Ugh. All right, now we're going to get the project box out. We are not going to work with the card box yet. We're going to work with, okay, these go to the pockets inside. We're going to work with those next because they're going to be easy. And now the box lid goes in my project box because it's ready for the next step. So these are, we fold these nice little edges. This is going to make us the gluing tabs. Good Lord, I should have eaten. Well, no, I did eat before I started. I ate breakfast at like 11:30 and then I'm here. Why am I hungry? Whatever. I can eat later. Means I definitely have to knock off on time though. even though I started late. Okay, so there's what we're going to have, this little box for greeting cards. And I just need a bigger desk one of these days, but greeting cards go in here, 12 of them. Envelopes go in here, same concept. And we're going to give them these decorative pieces to make them look cool. The bottoms line up, the tops will line up. So that's what we want. We want it to look like that has some level of continuity because people are going to be looking at this on the inside. Turn it sideways. Let's get the glue gluing. I want it to come out like fine, like a perforation, but sometimes it just, I get huge sections wrong. Sometimes I get blobs in the corners. Just kind of rub that glue there. Flip it back over. Verify it looks correct. Line this thing up. Now, since these are keyed to each other, it's going to be the bleeding obvious if I glue them offset from each other. So we're going to try that trick again with the scrap paper. Where'd I put the scrap paper? Oh, over here. So what I'm going to do is make sure these are lined up, my folds. And we're going to put the scrap paper like that. And we're going to just take this off my gluing mat to glue because, well, something's got to give around here. Just trust me, it looks the same as gluing the first one. Except I made a little swirl in the middle instead of a straight line. Dabbing the corners so that they're glued all the way to the corner without glue eking out. Get that out of my way. Put it down. Verify all this because I just bumped stuff. Oh, I'm about to go on break too. I just realized I'm out of drink and I need something to drink. Okay. We're going to line that up. Flip. And we're just going to, this is kind of awkward looking, I know, but I'm trying to do it with 2 hands when I really need 3 or 4 hands. There we go. I like that. That is all lined up there. It is all lined up all the way across. It looks nice. Cool. Yeah, no, I definitely need to get more water and a snack, so I'm going to go on be right back mode shortly. All right, and now we have our 2 pockets to go inside, and you'll notice they're different heights. The heck words. All right, so our next step is figuring out the box, and I think I'm going to like lay these on and maybe even glue them on before I cut it so that I know my positioning. But first, we're gonna go hit the be right back because I gotta get a snack. I'm gonna like starve to death here. It's just a hungry day. I'm probably not back. I don't think that unmutes. On desk. Doesn't unmute. How do I unmute? Am I here? I think I actually might be here. A toggle. Let me play my own stream and check. Have sound on? I do. Okay, check, check. Okay, I'm back. I'm still working with my Stream Deck, so sometimes I don't always know what it's going to do. Alright, apologies for the chip noise. I had to do something. Where's my Stream Manager now? There it is. But I am going with chips for a snack. I was just going to make a whole meal, and then I realized I need to be able to eat. I need to eat a meal at around in about an hour, and it needs to hold me for about 6 hours. So we going with a few chips to hold me over. This is what I had. I will try to have some quieter snacks in the future. All right, so we are now on the last step, which is putting these on the box and putting the last step of the exterior. Then we're gonna have some work on the interior. It's putting these on the box and then putting the box together. So this is we'll call this the back. So this will be the front. And the back sides are what's gonna show when it's closed. So actually, this might be the back. Yeah, there's continuity, and this will be the front, which this is going to flop down on the desk when somebody's using it. So that picture isn't too. Actually, I could put this on the front. Let's take a look at how this works. No, I'm in the wrong. Let's switch to the other design space. Turn all my designs back on. I had them turned off so I wouldn't have to look at everything I wasn't making. So this is supposed to be the back. Let's take a look at the person I cribbed this off of. Yeah, so none of it actually shows. Wait, did she have a picture of it closed? I assume she might not have been. She had no directions, but there are other pictures. Okay, so that's what it looks like closed. So this is going to be over it. I think it would look better over this than over this. So we're going to make that be the back and sides, and this will be the front. All right, great. Yay. So now you may remember when I had this cut out, I did not allow my Cricut to cut this line because it wanted to cut these lines also, and I couldn't be certain that the paper was centered like I wanted because reasons. So what I know is this needs to be 10 inches wide. I probably want to cut exactly where the score lines ended. So we're going to start by taking these pieces and lay them in the project box and get out my cutting surface. Here we go. Cutter. Again, I have heard that basically every other cutter on the market is better than this one, but this one was free, so this is what I have for now. Okay. So the theory is that if I cut it exactly on where these lines end, that will be 10 inches. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by, let's close that, get out the good ruler, move this aside for a moment, and we're going to measure from exactly that point to exactly that point, and it looks like 10.06. Okay, so what we are going to do then is we're going to line up the ruler. We're actually going to line it up this way. I want the blue and black so I have a little contrast, but I want to be drawing, because I'm about to draw, outside of the part I want to keep, because I will probably screw this up. Okay, so I'm making sure this is lined up even. That's lined up even. We're going to use pencil in case I mess it up. And we are going to just draw a cut line. Lift up the ruler. That cut line looks pretty darn good. But I need it to go all the way. It's going to be easier to just finish it up. There. I hope it's right. Okay, now we're going to turn. We're going to line up that, and that is longer. One of these score lines is longer than the other. We're going to line up the end of the ruler. And we're going to draw a cut line. And now we're going to measure between the cut lines to verify my work. And I'm going to do me a favor and start at 1, because that way I can be darn sure just in case there's any error here. And we should be looking for 11 and a smidge. And we have 11 and 1/16. I feel like 0.06 shouldn't go all the way to the 1/16 line. But it does. So 11 and 1/16, the way I measured it just now. 1, 11 and less than 1/16. Let's go down to the edge of the paper, 11 and less than 1/16. So something is wrong with one of these lines. And it's probably going to be that one. Okay. So what we want to do is make sure everything is lined up, and then we're just going to stab in the dark. We're just going to go for it. This little thing is, I think, why any other cutter would be better. But we're going to use what we got. So I'm going to plant it here. And that line does not line up on that end. So this is probably the line that's erroneous. And we're going to cut. And now we're going to flip it around, and we're going to assume that is 0 and place it at smidge over 10. We don't want to shortchange ourselves because this is the depth of the unit right here. That needs to be 2 inches. Okay, is that at 2 inches on this end? I have no way of knowing, but I think it is. That is 10 and change. So we may need to recut that end. Dead on 2 inches. Okay. This needs to also be dead on 2 inches. It is not. So what we've got to do is very, very carefully look at everything. Slide it down. We're going to go on hope that shaving was the right choice. I think it was. All right, and you're probably wondering about these two score lines here. So am I. Actually, you might not have even been able to see that, but I can see it. All right, saving this because Panda Bear Valentine's coming up in February. Okay, let's zoom in and see where the score lines belong. Yes, that's what we're doing. Those score lines are on the back half. So this is the front, so this is how it goes. All right, 2 extra score lines. All right, we're gonna start by folding. We're gonna start by folding the things we know get folded. I'm wondering if starting with a 10 by 12 sheet of paper would make this easier. All right. So now what we have is this is the back, this is the front, we're going to go look at the original photos, see if we can figure out how there's really no directions. I don't know why I keep scrolling hoping for directions. I guess I'm just hoping I'm missing a tab. All right. Okay, so this is not on the outside of the box. This is on the outside of the box. Yeah, that's more or less what I got. Okay, so you see these folding out, you see these folding out. I don't see these at all. So we're not going to cut them off. We're just going to cut them for now with a scissor. Because I might figure out that they're actually part of something as I'm working. All right, so we already determined this is the back, and those are score lines. What are, oh, I bet they're supposed to fold in and make it a little sturdier. That's kind of what it looks like in the picture. I bet they make it sturdier. I don't know that I actually want them to be there, but for the moment, we're just going to fold them in. I can always cut them off. So what we're going to have is, you know what? Let's fold that in. This is the part you see outside the box. This flops down and forward. So this is a whole seam, and that isn't. I still think this would look better as the front, because this is the front of the lid. And that just looks better to me than that. So this is still going to be the back. We're just going to do this step by step to be sure we don't mess it up. All right, so we've determined this is the front. It goes here. We're going to install it before we figure out how the rest of these flaps are going together. Maybe not. I'm going to hold off on installing it. So this goes to the bottom, it goes to the back, it goes in, and that works. And that's our envelope packet. This does the same, and it fills up the entire rest of the bottom. It goes in the front. Okay. So I might want to install this like that, just so I have the front as a guide to press against. Okay. All right. That's what we're going to do. We're going to glue the bottom of this and the bottom of this, and then we're going to figure out, I think these should be glued shut. We're going to glue them shut. We're going to keep them and glue them shut, because I think they're there to sturdy up the sides. Let's get the glue gluing. All right. Any leakage here is going to be the bleeding. And yes, I have glued myself to my desk. We need a counter for this. There. Let's give those a minute. I sent a picture of my cats to my aunt, and she is panting at me, basically. Yes, they're cute and comfy. Where's the text of a message I sent to a friend explaining that shelf? I bought my cat a new shelf because she fell out of the shelf. She fell out of the windowsill, and it was pretty terrible. It was a bad injury. It was an emergency vet run. But anyway, so today I walked in there, I found her and the baby, my kitten, sleeping in the window seat, and it was adorable. Okay, that's glued down. Hello, baby. Hi, Liam. It is harder to glue myself to my desk when I work on silicone mats. Like, I have been literally stuck to the desk before, having to peel off skin damage, all that stuff. It's been bad. But the silicone definitely helps. I might want a bigger silicone at some point, but my camera, I have limited ability to zoom out. So I won't worry about it right now. Okay. So the back could get glued together like this with these sides, give even more sturdiness. But we're going to start with adding, oh, that's the front pocket. We're going to start with adding the rear pocket. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to use this, I'm going to fold it up, use that as my line, and install the bottom. Then I'm going to figure out how the sides of the pocket get installed. And I know the back is the back because I've got these nifty little fold down pieces now. Okay, this is the bottom of the envelope pocket. And yes, I keep saying these things to myself so that I don't forget, because that is a good way to glue the wrong thing in the wrong place in the wrong direction all at the same time. I did not just get glue on that. Great. All right. So we fold this up. It's really dark in here. We set it in place, and now we're going to press. Make sure that's adhered. All right. A few chips. I'm sorry, I don't have food for you, baby. Yeah, I didn't think you liked potato. Sorry about that, buddy. Get some Temptations in here. I have to say it by the brand name, because if I say just the other word, T-R-E-A-T, buddy boy here will lose his furry little mind. Okay. So if I want this sturdier, yes, baby? You want to attack my mic cable? I don't think that's a good idea, baby. Yeah, why don't you go lay on your blankie? Good baby. If I want the sturdier, I keep this flap. I feel like I want it to, in fact, I probably do. I'm going to try to cut the flap off at the front so that it's even. Wait. How does this look? If it's not, oh, I see. She had a shorter pocket so that the pocket was here. And this was just a part of it. I don't have that. Let's install the next pocket and see where I go from here. So this one, we want it to be the business end. It wants to be flush with this. So we're going to use this the same way I pushed that into that fold. We're going to push the back of this into this fold and glue it down. And that makes sure they're positioned well. This is the card slot, which is deeper than the envelope slot. Glue isn't exactly towards the edges, but this is a segment of the box down here nobody is ever going to see again. I am the last person who will ever see, well, you too, I guess, who will ever see this sheet. Let's fold that up. Line it up. Line that up. We're going to fold the whole thing in. Don't just assume and flop down. Glue it together. And then what we have are these two pockets that get glued to this. Yeah, they get glued to this. And this flops up and that edge will be visible. So what we don't need is for this to be this deep. We want it to be shallower than, I can cut it anywhere in here. It does not have to line up. But let's put it up again and be sure of what I'm cutting. Yeah, I am cutting it here, it looks like. Yes. So we're going to cut it back like that and that. We're going to need some more chips. Same marking here. This is going to end up sandwiched between the sides of this and the side of this, so we'll never see this again either. And this is why I work so carefully through each step of my design. This doesn't have to be a very good cut for exactly that same reason. It's never going to be seen again. Okay. Feeling where my cut is going, keeping my fingers out of the blade. Made that mistake too over the years. Let's put my scissors away because I think I'm done with them. So now we are going to start. How? We're going to glue this to this little flap because those are going to be together and then that's going to come up. Okay. We are not going to put glue on that. We're going to put it on the flap so that I don't overdo it. There we go. Set this up, fold this, make a perfect edge. These are lined up on this side. Pinch, pinch. Give it a moment. All right. Turn and repeat. We're gluing this. The reason I'm gluing the flap is because I don't know what this is gluing to yet. I think I know, but I don't. I'm not 100%. I'm only 99%. I don't want glue up there if it turns out I'm wrong. Okay, so now that comes up and it's perfect. We're going to glue this to that flap also. So this part I'm going to apply glue. I'm just going to apply it here, down a little, just kind of make a shape, leaving plenty of room between the two. This folds up it butts up against the other shelf, the other pocket exactly. I don't want it to overlap or underlap in any direction. Okay. This is going to do the same thing. It's going to fold to the inside. So I'm going to fold and pinch it back and apply glue to this section. I'm going to pull back. This is going to be awkward to see on camera because I got to see what I'm doing. And I got to whack the camera apparently, so that's what we got. Make sure it's exactly butted up against my other shelf. I don't want any, my other pocket, I don't want any twisting. All the way in. I did not glue all the way corners, so I've got corners peeling out, but this is what I thought was going to happen. It's not going to matter because that is going to cover over all of it. Did I glue that? Oh, fuck. This is glued upside down to the page. Of course. So this doesn't have that nifty little lineup like I had in mind. I'm going to call it unimportant. But let me tell you, that's going to be something I'm going to work on. Okay, this is going to fold up and in. I don't want it to get glued too high. And I don't want to have to make marks. So I'm going to put the glue down here on this part of the flap. And then on this part, I'm going to put it on the sides. And a little bit extra in the middle because I don't really know what's lining up where. I am lining, basically these are what's lining up. All right, and I just stuck my hand in it. Awesome. And that's going to be a whole lot of gluing eraser. All right. Which means that isn't glued to its edge. Okay. Now it is. Fold, smush, wipe as much glue as I can off of it right now. And I don't know how I'm going to glue eraser that because of where it's located, but we're going to figure that out. Right now we're going to turn the whole thing, make sure the front is not touching it at all. And just let that glue do its thing. Okay. Glue eraser. This was 1.25 inch thickness. That means I can stick a ruler into it and hold it in. I'm pretty sure what I'm doing is sanding off. Yeah, I'm sanding off parts of the paper to erase. Okay, that's gonna look fine. It just looks a little rougher than I had in mind. But again, I don't think anybody's gonna notice that, and it's for a charity auction. But what we're gonna do is learn from our mistake. Grab, where's my pencil? Here's my pencil. Grab a pencil, make a mark. We are not going to glue in front of that mark. We're going to stay well back from that. We've put all the glue on that side. Then what we're going to do is add to the trim edge from here down. And I'm going to dab my finger into that to be sure it's going to come oozing out. Fold, fold, inch. Yeah, we're just going to do that because now it's got enough structural integrity for this. This is why there's swearing in crafting, just saying. Still not signing into that, still don't know what it is. Alright, so what we've got now is a box, and then this with the decorative pieces is going to go up like that. So now we are ready to put the decorative pieces on. We decided this was the front because it would look least ridiculous this way. I'm going to decide this is right side up because I think it looks like this is just probably AI generated text. It's not real, but it looks right side up. I like the curve of what's supposed to be a postmark, and that looks like how right-handed people write. I think that's how they write. I don't actually know. Just going on hope. If anybody ever watches this on YouTube and you're right-handed, please tell me if you write, if you tilt your paper like this instead of like this. All right. I'll grab, flip, verify. Although I verified other things and they ended up upside down, so I don't know what that's going to do me. Kind of eyeball it for centering. And that looks good. The whole thing, flop it down, press. We're going to do basically the same concept for this. Okay, this is the back. I'm going to put the back on first. Back, right side up. Yay, whatever. Let's get this done. There's a major blob of glue in that corner. Actually, in all the corners at this point. Smush, smush. And I've said it before, I don't know if I said it very clearly. When I smush the glue, what that does is it puts it all the way to the edge as a very fine layer. I get some oozing on my mat. I don't get the oozing on my project. Okay. There we go. Looks good. I'm going to flop that back and press my hand in the envelope pouch. Okay. Now these sides get the decorations that make sense in relation to the back. So they go like this. Okay. We're going to do this side first. Flip sideways. There, I glued on the mat. Okay. Usually rub right in the palm. Sometimes the glue rubs off, sometimes it just comes off my finger, and then I can grab this quicker. Okay. Right side up, right side up. Goes like this. We're just going to eyeball that line up because I'm tired of fussing. Okay. Flop that down, make sure it looks lined up well. It did. Just trust me. Okay. This is right side up, so it's going to go like that. Okay, right side up, right side up. nice looking flop press. Make sure it's where I thought it was. Yeah. Ugh, glue. Alright, that I was able to rub off without the glue eraser. Cap that. So what we're left with is this. And I'm not sure it's quite ready for the box lid. Oh, hey. You could just turn the box lid around. It wouldn't be that big a to-do if it was all cattywampus a different direction. And then we get that on the back, though. But that actually ends up looking nice. So I guess I'll just leave it like this. This makes it more of a postage-looking thing. Okay. So this is how it's going to go. This unfolds. In here, we're going to have 3 panels. I think what I'm going to do is use one of the pages that looks more like this, more plain, to keep it all uniform. I feel like I should have put on the back of this too, but it's kind of to the point now where I don't think I jimmy something in there. Maybe I could. How would I do that? Okay, I put glue on it. I jimmy it in there. I do it like that. I could do it with this piece. It doesn't need to go all the way down. You're really only going to see that when you use the last greeting card out. Let me load it. All right. These are pieces that I didn't end up using because I had to reprint. Okay, here's 2 blank greeting cards that I haven't made yet, and the 2 that I have made. So you can see how 12 is really going to fill that space nicely. I have 1 envelope over here. 2, 3, 7, 12, 13. This is how, back in the olden days of like the 1990s, when you bought a card set like this with note cards, you got an extra envelope just in case you mucked up one of them. Because it was not easy to buy greeting card envelopes loose. Now you can get them off of eBay or Amazon. So that's how the card envelopes go in. I feel like this is going to need a notebook in here. I don't think anybody would notice, really, if I just did that and called it good and let it be. Because see how it doesn't go all the way to the bottom, and this one does. But I don't think that's going to be very noticeable. Let's choose the wider of these if they're different. They're not. So which look do I like better? You know, this makes it feel more continuity-wise. Let me lay this down and show you. This is what we got. Right side up, right side up. So if I put this in, it looks like that. But if I do this one instead, we get kind of that look, and I feel like it might make this muck-up look a little bit more less noticeable. So I think I'm going to go with this one. So we're going to set these aside again in the main project box of pieces I might need just in case. We're going to lay this down. I know this is upside down to you, but we're going to verify this looks okay like that. Or do I want it like that? I feel like the words look upside down even though they're not right. Well, no, I feel like these are right side up to the project. Because this is upside down, this feels upside down. Flip. Glue. That is my aunt anting at me again over there in text. I wonder if that's my yard guy or the neighbor. Wait, we use the same yard guy now. Okay, I guess I need to pay him. The nice thing about living in this neighborhood is that my yard guy just shows up. Okay, so we're going to ease this in on its tips, on its edges, and then kind of place it and realize it's crooked as all hell, and there we go. And there's some glue mess ups, but they are down low where you won't see them. We're not going to try to remove that glue more than just with my hand. Okay, I feel like that is still crooked, isn't it? It is, and I can see it. But if I try to fix it, it's going to go badly. Let's try to push this down, because pulling that up isn't going to happen. I feel like I got just enough to make it not noticeable. All right, let's try this again. Just glue off my thumb. Envelopes in the envelope slot. Cards in the card slot. Flop this up. Put the lid on. I think that'll be okay. I could also do the, ooh. Oh. Oh, I need some tips. I was not. Hang on, I gotta. You can drop in now at the Twitch link, comma, and I think in a week is when it goes on to YouTube, period. I haven't really worked out the bugs on that one yet. I just finished my card storage box, and I'm about to make one more card before I have to shut down and move on to, you know, real life. We will see if she pops in. Let me scroll up and be sure I gave her the link. I think I gave her. Sorry, I thought I gave you my show times when I sent you the original message, comma. Right now I'm doing Friday, noon to 4, my time. And I will probably add a Tuesday evening, comma. I just haven't picked exactly yet. I need to talk with, you know, the other person who lives in my house, comma. To choose which evening works best for us both. Okay, so we've got my 2 spring cards. We're gonna do some summer cards, I think. Here's my list. I do the Jewish fundraiser cards, those are fast, but okay, I'm done with the box. We're done with this kit. We're just gonna save whatever changes have been. You know what? I'm not gonna save any changes. We're gonna, let's go to desk only, go to my stuff. Like the notification side, one of my friends is texting me, aw, because I sent her a picture of my cat. Like, I already know aw. Alright, I know I'm gonna make these. A design. place. And then over here, I am done with my letter cutouts. Guess I can go back to the desk for now. No, I can't. I know what I gotta open next. So we are gonna just leave the letter cutouts, go to my stuff. I am narrating this since I can't really open it. I'm not really sure I need this to be still open. The second window. Can I look at just my commercial license products? Yes, yes, I can. All right. Screen share. Who is messaging me now? Oh, I don't need. I don't need that either. You want to watch that video later? Okay, so I'm looking for kind of a summery themed card. Do I have? I like the cactus. This is a project I'm still working on. I have to be sure I do have commercial license on these before I continue. I can't. I used some that I didn't have license for a personal card that I gifted to someone. And I need to verify that these are not those images before I go with it. A Hanukkah card, a gingerbread house Christmas card. Some things I thought I might do a Highland Cows card with sunflowers, but I haven't gotten that to work because the stems are kind of brutal. And these little connections with the leaves, and I'm not sure how to get around that yet. So, moving on. Here's the Father's Day card. Where's my flower box card? Okay, we're gonna go back to desk mode and go to all projects and search for box. Nope, 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 nope. See, I'm already back past the 3D card I was doing. Okay. Here we go. This is one I don't have license for, this Mother's Day bouquet. I might have license, but only for like 200 of them. This is my production version, so this is after I worked all the kinks out. But this one, I have done this for people, I have sent it to people, I have given it to people to send to their mamas. I could do this and leave off the Happy Mother's Day words. I have 30 minutes before I have to go. I'm not doing that. We don't need this window at all. Okay, charity cards. We have these two already. We are changing colors for the summer cards. We're probably changing designs. All right, let's put those away. Let's change. Let's go to desk only. Let's do the summer cards. All right, I'm gonna start pulling paper. That is off cam. Yeah. I have a lot. All right. Yeah. Oh, dude, I had to wet. Now taking it all out at once. I don't really need to search through all of this. That's wintry looking. That's enough. That might be more promising. The stuff at the bottom. We're gonna pull some floral stuff in the middle. Autumn leaves and save that fall card. Oop, that was totally me back into my deck. Okay. Well, that is just the wrong look. this entire book. Okay. I don't know about that. This makes me think of summer. But I used a floral theme. Oh, but I could do dots also. Okay, so that's a maybe. I don't want to use too much floral. I want a man to be able to buy this also and feel comfortable sending them. That feels summery. When do oranges come into season, though? I don't know about that. I'll put it in the maybe pile. Okay, camping, that's kind of a specific theme. That feels very more autumn or winter. This feels summery, these tangerine stripes. That doesn't, but tangerine does. Successful, brave, healthy, spirited, whatever words. That doesn't feel summery enough. Just these are definitely Halloween-y themes. That just feels too rainy day. And I love a good summer rain, but I don't think that's the look I'm after. I already ruled that out. That could work. That could not. That's a stronger, no. Ooh. Oh, lemons feel summery, so then that color feels summery. Same text, different background. No, that feels super something that isn't this. Was that our other package? The home store? Okay, then that's it. That was our package. Our other package, as in not the one you brought in the other day. That kind of coordinates. I could go with a lemon theme. I can also do 2 summer themed cards that are different from each other. No burlap, no spots. This is all starting to feel autumnal. I think the friend who gave me all this paper really likes autumn, because that was the majority of it. That kind of feels like it coordinated. It does. That doesn't. That just feels different. Those are all no's. That could coordinate. I don't think it does. Well, I don't think it does now that I've seen it. Okay, now we're down into the, I don't even know what this stuff is. This just doesn't have the right feel to it to me. That might, but it doesn't. Okay. We are going to take a look at, oof. Okay. Those, we're going to get all of this shoved back in a slot. So I like this, and I like this. I like this with it. I've got some green, I've got the yellow, I'm pulling up blue, not that blue though, so that's a no. I could blend orange in with it. I think that orange works better than that. But I could also, instead of having a textured orange, I could set that on the side. And I think I could draw that in for one of the cards and not the other, and it'd be great. So we're going to put that in my project box. We're going to set these aside. Let's look for a good pastel to go with it. I'm going to grab my pastel book first. Oh, peach is actually a good look with that. Peach. Let's try peach. Flip the pastel. Yeah. Let's try red, orange, peach. Maybe. I feel like that's not enough. Maybe I really want like tangerine. No. This looks more golden than orange. Let's flop it over. That's one maybe. Could also decide that this. I have a teal. I have a teal one. This looks like it's not. Feels dusty. I don't know about that. I need to look at it. Pineapple. What's on the back of the pineapple? Mangoes. That would fit summary. Also, what if I just want to just go with the yellow again and bring pink into it. Where's my aqua? There. Maybe something in here will work. Okay, so I like this. I think that's kind of summery. Yeah, I hate that. Put that in the go backs. I hate that. No, this isn't the right look. It's pretty, but no. That's a maybe. That feels really awkward with this. In fact, I think this is what was awkward. This blue. Let's get out the color wheel. I've kind of picked one way of color matching. So I'm going with yellow, it goes to purple, it goes to lagoon blue, or kind of smoothie, which I feel like this is. It is lemon yellow, so we are coming more over to the raspberry side. Raspberry. Maybe none of these are right. Okay. At least take some of my while I'm over here. Here later. Okay. Rose and tea. Peaches and oranges. None of these are, well, that's kind of raspberry. Yeah. Pretty, yeah. What if I hauled off and did like flamingo? Gave it a texture. That could be fun. Instead of a song. I might want to look into my Encore paper, which is a completely different look and feel. But I do have that just doesn't look right with, get out of the way. Doesn't look right with any of this. Back to the Encore slot. That does look right, but other things do too. So let's not use my expensive paper, but I only have one sheet of it. Let's consider working with ooh. What if I had like these colors. Those look like they would work together. And they all look like they will work with my flowers that I already cast aside. Let's do. Okay, so I have some nice stuff in and on my project box. Because like I said earlier, that is an A4 sized project box. And my papers are not. Because I bought it at IKEA. Alright, let's see. We've got some big, bold prints that we want to be able to show off. This could be a way to do a lot of different prints and a kind of sedate card. I really like that. I'm not going to put sincere thanks on it. I want them to be generic messages. And I'm not going to put a ribbon on it. We're going to use a bar of some kind. Or make them longer and the message shorter. I like that. I don't think I have time for it today. So, bookmark. Okay, I have other bookmarks in this book. Let's take a look at them. That's a good way to deal with. That could be nice for this print. But I feel like that's too much pink in one spot. That could be nice. Okay, let's go back to my original bookmark and keep flipping. This could be a good look. It's just stripes. And they have me cutting out and layering. I would not layer, I would just cut and butt them up against each other to save paper. Also to cut down on mailing weight, because somebody might send this with like photos or a gift card. This lets me show off some of my textures and colors. Gives me a backing that I'm gonna have to deal with. Because what I would do is all of this on a plate that then goes onto the card. So this would be my plate that holds all of this up and then on. I like this design. Let's mod this one. All right. Screen and desk. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do it about 4 by 5 and yeah, we're gonna lop a 1/4 inch on each side. We're gonna need a bunch of these. I'll just load a bunch right now. Pass them aside. All right, let's zoom in, see what I'm doing. Things I didn't used to say, but we're at age, so yeah. Unlock this. We want it to be 4 inches wide. We want it to be 4 inches wide. Let's start with that actually. 5.25. And this will go on the greeting card. Yes, that's going to be a background color of, let's make it yellow for now. Okay, we'll draw off the greeting card because this needs a whole background. Alright, so now we're going to add a stripe. 4 inches wide. And their middle stripe they have is, they suggest 1.5 inches. I don't know about that. Let me try 1.7. That gives me the bold look I'm after. So now what I want is, okay, let's make, I'm just going to make the same change. It's going to drive me a little nuts, but oh well. 4 inch wide, let's do 0.4 for these stripes. Oh, there's 2 narrow stripes and 2 wide stripes. Okay, let's do 0.3. And we want 2 of those. And let's start adding colors just so I can see what I'm looking at. This weird pink. We're going to call this, we'll make it green. Okay, so this is going to be 4 inches by 0.5 inches, because, yeah. Copy paste this down here. Let's call them purple for now. I feel like that's taking up the majority of the card. I really wanted like that much. Maybe this is too wide after all. Okay. Maybe these are too wide. Let's do 0.4. Oh, that's a much better look. Okay. 0.4. And then these I'm going to shrink down to 0.2. Oh, highlighted them both at once. That's always a mistake. Because it was going to do the space in the middle also. Okay, these should be something without a print. And then what we get, imagine you're not seeing any of the yellow through it. And then our message, they have it as a circle there, so we probably don't need these anymore. But they also have it as a different shape. What if we used an oval? And that was our message plate. I like that. Okay. Let's give it an offset, which is to say we're going to add a layer behind it. It's a little bigger. And we're going to just say that it's going to be pink for now. It should actually probably be the same as the green color. So this is where our message goes. Maybe it should go down. Oops. Undo. Highlight the offset, highlight the oval. Let's group them together so I move them together. Yeah, that oval should not be that color. It should be the same as the green because green is a real thin piece also. We could put it like that. We could leave it down like that. We could put it up here. We could use an interesting paper here, but not super busy. And then that makes sense down here. Maybe the circle would work better. You know what? Let's go to images. I want a generic greeting. Go with high this time. I could get on board with that one. I can always just type and adjust the font myself, but this does it for me so that I'm not killing myself on fonts. Because, you know, you can spend hours in font selection and get absolutely no. I think I'm going to go with that first one that I liked. But it's a lowercase h. Ah! Wrong window. Sorry about that. We go with that. Let's add that to the canvas. I don't know why. I don't need it to open. I just want to click on and add to canvas. That's also a good choice. It's not what I meant to click on. All right, let's go to canvas. They're all enormous, as usual. Okay, let's start by making them 3 inches high, just so I can see them. Okay, 3 inches is too big, but that was a given. Oh, what if we did that? And instead of that, what if we did a rounded square? White text. Let's do the green cutout again because it's busy. Range, bring to front. This is how I never. Okay, how big is that? That is 1.223. So let's set this to 1.423. And then grab the 2 of them and align center. Then let's give it a 0.1 offset, that little box. Apply. Let's turn the offset green also. Now we're starting to get some continuity going here. Maybe just bad design. Could be bad design. Group that so I can work with it. It could look like that. Or I could go with either one of these. I think I like this better. It could also be cut out in green. We're going to do it in green just to see what I'm... Align, center. Group. I don't like that one after all. Okay, so we can have that or that. And you know what else we can do? You'll notice that this looks the same as the background. So let's do a slice. We're using my little high message as a hole punch. Turn it off. Turn that off so it would cut out just the white piece. And I would have to, how would I cut that out? Oop, undo. I would have to save the white pieces and line them up my own self. That sounds annoying. Let's set this idea aside. This is why I save my layers. Ungroup. Let's take the high, group that, and the oval. Let's slice. Turn off the high on both sheets. This now, I only have the one piece. There's nothing I have to glue on. I just have to slide it onto my backing paper and slap it down, and they are done. Group. I like that better. We're going to turn this off and see if I can work with this. I feel like it's just the right size to be difficult to work with. We're going to go with a circle. Or where? No, I think we're going to delete that. Circle. White. You know what? Let's do an inset. So instead of 0.1, I want negative 0.1. Y. Y again. Now I've created my offset. Inside, it's going to be white. Circle's going to be green. Need to go get the high out of the images again. Is that it? I think that was it. Nope. That was the one I rejected. High again. That one. All right. We're going to make that fit in the circle, but take up most of it. Yeah, I kind of like that. All right, center the whole mess. Grab this and this. Slice. Yeah, we're not making this card today. Turn off my layers. Verify it works like I needed it to. Undo. Group those. Turn this group off. I think we're going to do this. Something like that. And we might change that background. The green, I don't feel like it looks best green. What do I? No. No. No, definitely not. Yeah. All right. Let's see if we can pick some colors before I have to show off. Okay. This is what we've got. I feel like the yellow is going to be a bit much. What do I want on the background? These dots are interesting, but not overbearing. The purple is awfully bold. Let's go with the dots. Okay, so that background is now going to be pink dots, which means the circle is going to be pink dots also. Okay, so notes out. Okay. But I'm not going to be able to read that later. Background and circle. Pink textured dots. I could change the textured dots out. I do have other textures in different colors. Let's see what I got. Anything that would work with this project. Ooh, I have a lovely teal. I also have a great blue. The teal might be a good choice. I could work with that teal. Yeah, let's consider teal. We're gonna leave that out also. I don't want it to be too girly. No guys like pink, but we're talking older guys. So we're gonna get this out too. We're gonna add a note. Pink, teal. Could be either way. So if that's pink or teal, what do we want the large band to be? I feel like the flamingos are a great choice for the large band for either color. Okay. Where'd my pen go? So wide band. That's the flamingo look, which has pineapples on the other side. So the wide band, we're going to make it Let's just tint it pink, less pink. Okay, that narrow band, I had planned for something that's busy and not that intro. Hang on. What happens if those bands are like yellow and purple? What's on the other side? Oh, lemons. That makes this printed, and these are more like textures all around. It's not bad. I don't know about this though. Maybe I should do this as the wider band. Lemons. Yeah. So the mid band is lemon wedges, and then narrow band, that's the purple crosshatch. I like that assortment, and I think that it will definitely let me bring in this to go with it to make another card. Oh look, that teal is not that bad with this. Check that out. Come on, separate. Those look okay together. I think they would look okay with the pink too, but I feel like this is a dustier pink than that. I think the teal is my better choice. And this is a page I get at, I want to say I got those at Joann's, so that is easy to replace once I've used it up. I like this. Okay, let's circle the teal, and let's tell myself I'm going to do teal. So let's change the color of this pink to, we're going to change it to, yeah, we'll just use that teal. And this green is now going to be purple, bright purple. Bright purple. And this is going to become my lemons. Oh, I accidentally turned something wrong. Lemons. And this is my pale pink. Oh, that circle's going to change. That's what. Let's change the circle. What? Let's go teal. It would mean the teal dots show through. I could do it on the back side, which has less texture, but it's still very similar. I'll leave myself a note. Circle. The high is white, the circle is teal. I can cut the circle and try it and flip it over on it. Okay, so these are my pages. We're just going to leave them stacked up on my desk because Kitty Boy will, oh, let's leave this in my current project box. We're just going to leave these stacked up here because I think I'm going to end up streaming like, I don't know, tomorrow afternoon to finish this because I really want to get it done now that I've seen it. That's for a maybe. Hold on, I'm still streaming. I am actually shutting down now. So I'm leaving this here, I'm leaving my notes here, and we're going to make this card on my screen another day. Save. And I am, I'm not offline yet, I'll tell you when I am, but I am out.